not very interesting. I would like to thank everybody. I'm very happy to be here. It's a very exciting event. And as my predecessor, who was speaking to you before, said, hospitality is something very tangible, and the hospitality that I have felt is something that I would really like to thank you for. About myself, I'd like to say the following. I'm not an architect, even though that's quoted quite often. I'm an artist. I've got a master's degree in arts, and I completed tertiary studies in Germany, and normally that would have entitled me to carry the qualification of engineer. And later on, I gathered more experience. I went to the Arts University of Linz, where I studied. Some of you might know that in Austria there weren't very many events, but we did have the Forum of Design. And the University of Linz really focused on that boundary, on the overlapping area between art and design. This also was something that interested me a lot. It was nearly a hobby of mine. And what is very important to point out is also the reason for my activity is the following. I would rather be in a situation to talk about the things that I love much more, with a lot more passion. And when we look at the branding of public spaces, my idea is something that has really proven itself to be working, but I would like to work more on that in future. I would like to start with a video right now. This video has been in existence for about 8 years. The video will show you the Park Hotel. It will show you the Park Hotel in its initial stage. It's only about 6 minutes long, but I think it will explain it quite well. And after the video, I will give further explanations and details.
It's the brainchild of Andreas Strauss, a local artist with more ideas than he has time for. Be warned, the road reaches a dead end at the Danube. So to get to Ottensheim, you have to use the slow ferry, unless you're a duck. Unbelievably, it has no engines and is driven by this laid-back dude.
Yes.
But it does get you there. The town is nice, but it's in the park where you'll find Andreas's first step into the hotel business. He calls these simultaneously functional and comfortable concrete sleep pipes. Andreas, please explain.
Okay, my name is Andreas Strauss. I'm a semi-local artist. I used to study close to this place here in Linz at the art school a couple of years before. Medium, tiny village, a bit out of Linz in Upper Austria, just beside the Danube in a park, which is a public park, that's it, nothing else.
So what sparked the idea for this place?
When I was a student, I still traveled as much as I could, and there was this certain moment where I was fed up with asking my friends if I could stay 2 nights on their sofa, or I could stay some nights with them for a while or whatever. And there was this triad, if it's possible, to find something like a semi-public tool, hospitality tool, like coin lockers, you know, like in the same logic, but really anonymously and really easy access.
Yeah, nice idea. And why the name Das Park?
We call it DasParkHotel because sleeping in a city, park is the more hotel-worth place in this case, and it's also a bit about this thing like parking yourself as well, and so this whole list brought us to the name DasParkHotel, and
Perhaps it's just because they're in a park? So what's it like sleeping here? A bit weird?
as soon as you open the door in the morning, there's people passing by and trying to look inside, and then there's always this moment, you know. As soon as you open it, people are always excited to see what's inside.
But what if I'm not a morning person?
Even the mayor, she's sometimes visiting the people.
The mayor of Ottensheim? Wow! How do I book?
Booking is pretty simple. There's the website called DasParkHotel.net. There's a booking page, and you just choose a date, try to reserve. As soon as the the date you choose is free. You get an answer email with a link. If you follow that link, you get a code. So it's more or less asking for a free tube for a date, sending an email for that, and getting a number code. And then you just get here, you type it in, and then it opens. That's it. So everyone gets his individual code, which stays for 1 to 3 days, or works for 1 to 3 days, however you book. And that's a code which dies out afterwards and just works for you.
Okay, no offense, but what are these tubes normally used for?
Drain tubes, water for canal, they dig them in the ground, normally. They're pretty standardized, so it's a standard thing. You should actually be possible to buy these tubes mostly everywhere in Europe now.
Oh, great. But isn't it scary sleeping in the middle of a public park in a tube? What about things that go bump in the night? Like him. What's he up to?
If a tractor drives into this, you might feel a little knock, but that's it, you know. It's 20 centimeters of concrete, so it's never trouble of getting too warm. It's solid like hell. Good Austrian concrete. Each of these tubes has like 9.5 tons, so if the door is closed, you feel really secure, you feel really comfortable. I find them beautiful as well, so. And this curved feeling, it's not about bio-shape, but this curved feeling like in there, when you sit in there, it's pretty comfy.
So here's a question a lot of people will ask. Is DasPark a romantic place to stay?
The quickest way to make public space private, you just close the door, and it's yours.
Well, we better leave them to it. So let's check out the bathrooms.
So these are our toilets in the moment, done by an architect, I think like 20 years ago. And we have a simple shower in the backers there, even connected to the pavilion, which supports you with food during the day. Only opens at midday, but...
Have you ever slept in one of these?
Yeah, several times. That's the other good thing. As a hotelier, you can book your favorite suite anytime, you know. I need my time off, or when I need a time beside my regular environment with all my work and all my papers. And I see there's no booking on the tube, I just take my book and go down here. I'm a pretty speedy person, so for me it's a really good room for coming down and having a rest and finally reading straightforward for more than 5 pages.
Okay, so after a good night's rest, how do I pay?
The paying system in our case is a pretty simple one. It's just, we call it pay as you wish. And in this case, as you see it here, they left 20 euros. We really wanted to know if people accepted, treated well, and really would say, okay, we support that idea with a certain kind of money. So this pay-as-you-wish system is like what it's worth for the people, and at the same time keeps us out of all these business things.
And what happens when guests leave?
We change sheets, these simple sleeping bags, and this cover for the mattress, and that's it. The wool blankets stay, and the next guest is welcome.
So unless Miss Mayer pays you a visit, you can really be anonymous here.
Anyone with Mickey Mouse at gmx.whatever can book in if it's official and functional email address, and if he uses it, he gets a code. And so it's in this case, it's really anonymous, and it's a really trusting thing. And so like we trust them in this case, and they have to trust us in the case as well.
So do you think this sleeping in tubes thing will catch on?
Yeah, DasParkHotel could be a thing for every city. I think every city finally should have something like this. There's always little nice gaps, little nice hotel-worth corners in public parks where we could put them. Of course, every hotelier wants to become a hotel tycoon, but I would love to see them in several places.
And why not? This is a totally wacky but unique hotel concept that could offer cheap places to crash anywhere in the world, literally. Okay, so DasPark isn't 5-star, but what a novel base for exploring the Danube region. As long as you like guys on bikes. Bye!
Okay.
Thank you very much for your attention for the last 7 minutes. As I said, the video is about 8 years old, and a few things have changed and developed since then. The Park Hotel was originally an experiment which we carried out and which has grown. And when I say we carried this out, next to me, around me, there is a team of people who brought in their own responsibility to contribute to this concept. They developed the hardware, the online booking system, and other things. Of course, the whole concept was carried out by myself, but many people have assisted me. This is why I would like to talk a little bit more about the experience with the systems that we have employed. Okay, what you can see here, this is the first historical website that we had that has changed since then as well. It has more functionalities. Okay, let's go analog here. This is our first blueprint. It's a standard concrete pipe. You can buy them anywhere, the factory standard. And the advantage is it works functionally, acoustically well in design terms. Thermally, it works really well. And it can be used, abused in many ways. All you need is 8 bolts, 8 screws to put the bed inside, and when you take those out again, it's a drainage pipe again. Okay, I'm not an electronics expert, but we could not afford a web-based system at the time, so we worked together with a small company to develop a system which works like a small computer. It's a lock, and the website gives you a code which will be used to open the lock. The suite, the drainage pipe, does not have a direct contact with the website or the booking system. The only thing that works is that on the day when you get the code on the website, then the lock will accept that code on the day. And we've had other aspects that we have developed over the years and further grown over the years. Let's just look at the hardware straight away. I've already mentioned this is a standard drainage pipe. This is what it looks like. The city of Linz gave us permission to carry out this experiment in a very auspicious spot. And I'll just describe it. During the day, of course, it's all very easy for people to imagine being in a pipe. But if you're in a space at night where you could possibly feel afraid in a park, this park is different, because this park is exactly between a very famous concert hall and another public space. This is what the pipe looks like on the inside. It's quite solid, and it's quite popular. We still use it as original. These 3 pipes we put into the park next to the bank of the river, just to give you a better idea of the site. You can see the concert hall there. This experiment has been treated with respect by everybody, and we wanted to know, will people actually leave enough money, because it's a pay-as-you-wish concept. Will they leave enough money to make it worthwhile? Will it cover the costs? Will it cover the costs for cleaning the place and doing the laundry of the bedsheets? And the most surprising thing is, and like I mentioned, this has been in existence for 10 years. Nothing has ever been stolen. No sheets have been taken away. No lamps have been stolen. And the money that has been left has always been there to cover the expenses. It fluctuates a lot. Some people leave a little bit. Some people leave more. We have regular customers. We have regular guests from England. A 72-year-old lady from the UK. She leaves €150. So you can see there's a lot of fluctuation, but it averages out over the year. And the people who clean the pipes afterwards thus have the incentive to have sufficient income to keep doing this. And for most people, this would be like a half-hour, 1-hour job if they were to clean these pipes on a regular basis. Here you can see a slide with our first guests. DasParkHotel, Park Hotel, that's the name. In most cities, you have small niches, small corners, small spaces, parks where you can actually place a unit like this, which will integrate quite well into its environment, which is not very assuming in its appearance. It integrates. And at the same time, you don't have to be afraid to go there at 3 o'clock in the morning. These areas that exist and are an accommodating space for these pipes can be found in most cities. Here are our first guests again in the year 2005. Okay. Following the first year, where we spent a lot of time, a lot of work, we didn't have a budget to actually continue this after the original experiment, and we thought about this a lot. And we talked to the municipality of Linz, and we had another park, not a very central urban space, but nevertheless a space that was suitable. We also obtained those pipes from the manufacturing plant. We didn't have to pay for those, which meant that we were able to continue this experiment. The municipality helped us, people who manufactured the pipes helped us. We had an opening party with the city mayor of the local government. And here in Ottensheim, after 10 years, we still have the Park Hotel functional, operational. What's very important is the following. We actually do not know who our guests are individually. Anybody who has an email address can reserve, can book a suite and stay there between 1 and 3 days, anonymously. Quite often we get feedback, we get mails. There's a family by the name of Parker, Australian architects who live in England. I think they would have stayed in our pipes every year. But we also have people who live in the vicinity, people who say, look, I need to escape maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. It's for people who want to escape their everyday life and just get away. And it's suited for people like that, as well as for people who come from other countries. After we've seen that this worked very well in Ottensheim, we also got the permission to set this up in another setting. I show you the slide here because there's been a great shift. In Ottensheim, we had 3 drainage pipes, and that was an experiment which was fairly easy to handle. And we could see that over the years we had 50 to 60% capacity usage. In Bottrop, that's where you can see the slide, we have been asked by a foundation. No, will this work? This is a former water treatment plant, you can see that on the slide, and the green area in the center is still a residential area for the workers who worked in this plant. And in this area that used to be a water treatment plant has now been turned into a park. And we have installed 5 of our pipes. You can see how it's being set up here. And we set up the Park Hotel in Berne Park with 5 individual units. And this actually led to the fact that the supporter organization was nearly out of its depth because it was so popular and it was quite difficult for them to handle. And this opened at a time where the weather was good, where people were really interested in being in that sort of setting, enjoying the climate, where people can enjoy their environment and just go back into the tube and feel sheltered. And we had people that were really angry. They were furious because they were not able to make a booking because everything was booked out. So the capacity was reached and exceeded quite quickly. This also led to the fact that the support organization had to carry out a lot of maintenance because it was such a busy experiment. You can see a photograph here on the slide of what it looks like today. The Park Hotel Bernepark, this is near the city of Essen in Germany. This has finally found its own rhythm after 4 years of operation, similar to the way it has stabilized in Austria. Here also we have a clientele which refers their experience to other people. You have word-of-mouth experience, exchange of opinions, which leads to new clientele. As I've mentioned before, I'm not a graphic artist. I'm rather the person who builds these things. We had a 10-year anniversary. The Park Hotel has been in existence for 10 years. It keeps working exactly in the same way as it has been working before, in principle. As I've mentioned in the video before, you have also seen the bathroom units. We have talked to the city, with the city. Generally, the Park Hotel uses public facilities. And usually you get a PDF. Once you've made a booking, it will tell you where's the next cafe, where's the next public toilet that you can use. But there have also been inquiries, well, couldn't you also set up a bathroom close to these particular pipes? We then did some brainstorming, and we said something initially which was meant to be a joke, and we said, okay, in that case, we'll set up a bathroom that's also going to be built on the basis of a drainage pipe. But we then tried to talk to other professionals and did some brainstorming, and found out that there is a lot of maintenance for the municipality. Maintenance costs are quite high for public toilets, and we thought, well, in that case, perhaps we should set up a similar system, use the drainage pipes. And you can see we have a hardware, we have a concrete pipe, and we have high-tech that's built in, we have plumbing that's built in, and the advantage is that just like the actual hotel tubes, these bathrooms are delivered by crane. Once you don't need them anymore, once the park changes, once the park does not want to have these pipes anymore, it's quite easy. You can just advertise them, and then they can be transported. Or maybe the municipality says, oh no, this public toilet should now go to a childcare facility or to another area. The cleaning costs involved are quite cheap because you could basically hose it out. This is what it looks like on the inside. Every public toilet has the disadvantage that once you have a clean floor and you only spill a little bit of water on the floor, then you have this feeling of, oh God, this is very unhygienic. And we have designed this in a way that even on a rainy day, when people walk in and out, this will look rather hygienic, and this is quite bearable. And we have drawn on the experience that we've had with our other pipes. Okay, I would like to talk about a few other things right now, other projects that I've been involved in relation to the theme that this conference is all about, hospitality and associated areas. And a lot of my projects are involved in this area, where I really get to the boundary of what is still legal, what is not legal, and always like to push the boundary with my projects. And I am quite often asked by people who say, we would have an idea, we would rather do this, that, and the other. Do you think you can work out a way that we can do this? And we had a container for the city of Linz, where we wanted to have a a facility that can be used for events. It shouldn't be a bar as such, but something that's suitable for hospitality. We used a container, we shortened it by 1 meter, re-welded it, and it's called Fröbe, named after Gerd Fröbe from Goldfinger, the James Bond movie. And this has been painted in, it's actually gold-plated. It's been sponsored by somebody who is a fan of the Park Hotel. And it's been standing here for a couple of years. Another project that I would like to show, and a polytechnic school in Austria is different from a polytechnical university in Hong Kong. Hasn't got the same ranking. This is called a polymobile, and in Austria, a certain amount of the money that is given to the polytechnic school, a certain amount of money has to be used for innovations. And I've been asked to get involved here, talk to apprentices that want to become, for instance, car mechanics. And together with all the students, I have developed this concept. It's called the polymobile. It's the slowest fast food device of the world, or the fastest slow food device of the world, depending on how you look at it. Normally, this would be illegal in Austria if it did not belong to the school. So because it belongs to the school, we can drive to various areas, attend different events, and usually authorities that give out permissions and permits for this are completely out of their depth. As long as this belongs to the school, we are operating in a legal area. And also because we're not a commercial operation. Nevertheless, we are able to provide high-quality pizza on the side of the street. And we involve the students of the school. They're quite enthusiastic about it. And former students who have already left the school and completed their course, who would normally never come back to the school, they still come back, get involved in the project, and pass on the knowledge to new students. It's really an object of the foundation that has financed this, and it's something that's very useful for the school. One of my most recent concepts that I've been using for a few years, again, we're walking the fine line of legal and illegal here. I call it the supermobile. It's a standard garbage container which has been repurposed to a kitchen. Here again, we have the pay-as-you-wish concept, so that we are not legally restrained where somebody could say, hey, you are carrying out a commercial operation here, you need certain permits. So we don't actually have a price list. We can do this in various public areas where standard fast food chains do not exist, where we just set this up and provide food. Of course, we have here a hidden statement, a message where waste management, waste treatment is integrated into the actual provision of food. Okay, I think I may have already gone over time a little bit. I would like to thank you very much for your attention to my presentation. And I don't speak as well as I build. Speaking is not my expertise. If you've got any questions, if you are interested, please send me an email. And perhaps you might be interested in trying out the hotel. All the other things, hospitality, gastronomy, you can find under Flickr. You can see various images that give you an idea of the concepts of the projects that I've been involved with. Okay, so any feedback is welcome.
Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you.
Very interesting. Can I ask the audience, are there any questions for Andreas? Questions? Can I ask you a question then?
Try.
Okay. I'm really curious. the dumpster you showed
Yeah. Should we go back?
as a food cart. How do you get over perceptions about buying food, having food from what is something that you normally throw things away in?
No, actually, hold on. Man, like all these things, like I can't answer that straight away though. It's like it was my dream of funding something in an urban environment. That was the basic idea for that thing. Like to build something out of an existing structure, more or less. That's the thing. And at the same time, yeah, this permanent ongoing discussion, which we on the one side do way too less. On the other side, it's coming up like as a kind of a semi-religious discussion, like don't throw away, the bad conscience about this. So all these kind of things related brought me to more or less to build something like that.
Okay.
And the cool thing on that is as well, like if you do it on a commercial way, like if the cops show up, that thing is closed in a second.
Right.
So if there's any danger or any discussion about that, it's just like following the roof down. So actually the drawer goes in, the roof goes down, and the only thing you see is like 2 little cuts.
Fantastic.
So it's not like just filling the public space up with something more. That's it.
Any questions? Question over here.
Hold on.
Sorry, if you wait for the mic, sir.
I live in a tropical country where it's very warm.
Yeah.
And I'm interested because our country's made out of different islands.
Yeah.
And your idea of using a drainage pipe
Yeah.
as a hotel room is quite provocative. Nobody's ever thought about it. But how would it fare in a warm country?
That's a pretty easy answer to give. Like in Austria, we are happy if we have really warm summers now. And we had like 2 really warm summers, even in the first year and then the second year of running the DasParkHotel. And actually in the second year, they were really out in the middle of, on this dam up there without any shade. And we had like weeks of 35 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius. And what it does, it gets, so we don't have air conditioning there, but it doesn't get warmer than the surrounding environment. That's the one thing. But generally, like, maybe there's one little thing I wanted to put into this discussion as well. I love the tubes. They really work well. And on a European level, they're really cheap. And then on European level, our parks are even deadly cleaned up. So if you put a tube, a concrete tube, which everybody knows it's a drain tube, in a public park, even after 10 years, it still has this feeling about being forgotten there. Like if you put that something up like this in a let's say like lower wealthy area, though, it's still like this. We had homeless people staying there, and we welcomed them very well. It's like everybody's welcome to stay there. Just the question is like treated well. But that thing is it's not. So generally, the park hotel could look in any different way. It could be a garage. It could any volume is thinkable in terms of this kind of hospitality form. The tube became kind of our corporate identity already, and it's like it switched very far into this sleeping in the tube thing. That's what we as the whole group says, that's what the park hotel is not about. Generally, even if we love the tubes, we can't see them anymore after 10 years. You do it, you stick with it every day, more or less. We love them, and even sometimes, as shown in the video, I sometimes even stay there by myself. If I need like a bit of time beside, it's really cozy to stay in there. And you really, the other thing is like this importance about in a public environment, staying like on a legal base and comfortable. You really feel homey there. You feel really secure in the middle of nowhere. That's it. That's what the concrete in this case provides.
Are there any more questions in the audience? Yes, please. Microphone behind you, sir.
Hi, Andreas. Just interesting to hear what you say about pushing boundary, okay? And the DasParkHotel is real, it's 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are kind of experimental, right? And it's experimental.
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship with the local authorities or government?
Yeah, the thing is actually, it was even a challenge for the local authorities as well, of course. Because the thing is like they always ask you, is it art? Is it architecture? What is it? And I always say yes, yes, yes. Is it design? Yes. It's like, it's both, like the thing is like, I'm just not good in frames. That's why maybe I come up with things like this, and then it needs a certain kind of support in a way. Like the mayor of Linz said, he loves the idea. He's gonna kick us out if it really goes wrong.
but he loves it and he supports it. And actually we got electricity from the big music hall, we get the Wi-Fi from the big museum. And the idea was even like, they want us back now, more or less. Because like every big institution, for example, like a big concert hall has like a lot of stuff doing the cleaning things. And the maintenance work, what they need is really low. It's like half an hour. So that's in a big institution, easy to cover that. And as it made it into the city, in Linz in the first year, and in Ottensheim the second year, people in Ottensheim who were really kind of complaining a bit about that, like sleeping tubes, ugly, blah, blah. They call them, wie sagt man, unique selling proposition, Alleinstellungsmerkmal.
Yeah, unique selling proposition.
Yeah, so that's even people now, the first is saying, oh, ugly tubes, stupid idea. Even they say now, oh, it's our unique selling proposition. Is it right? Yeah. Okay. So, and the other funny thing is like for Ottensheim is a tiny village now. I mean, that crazy tube made it into the New York Times, into the Guardian on half pages, and so it's like.
So did you say you're working closely with the schools, to push your ideas?
Several times, yeah.
Several times.
Yeah, you saw the Polymobile anyway. I'm doing teaching lessons at university, like I'm doing part-time classes at universities. And what in this case, I very often do, like, I just get the kids out of the students' kids. Sorry, I'm always 40-something. I take them out there, and what I try to do with them is like sit down and define your idea. So I mostly give them sketchbooks in their hand. There's mostly only one laptop with a little SIM card modem. And really, everybody's talking about public space, but there's no real discussion about this legality. It's more like a battle for the branding, not the battle of what's legal now. Why is that thing what was completely okay, and where people were fighting for having public parks for years, like since the Greeks and since the whole European kingdom, whatever things, they were fighting for the right to use these parks. So that's it, and that's a bit the thing what in the background drives me a little bit. I hope it was an answer for you.
Okay. So, one last question from me before we head off, which is, what learnings have you taken away that can be from the project you've done with DasParkHotel that can be applied to hospitality en masse? This is a very unique concept, right? That you could consider.
I could right away sell our booking system. That's good.
Booking system. Okay.
Now, even the booking system is like a very simple one. So actually, for example, like this, that thing is, on a mass level, we have to think about that and have a bottle of wine and we find something. But what I think is like these mid layers, what we're just talking about, like what's legal. Like for example, like we're talking about showers. Like why can't they be just like simple showers, like somewhere everywhere, and you just have a reservation and pay a donation thing? So this mid-level out of anonymous and semi-anonymous, that's what that thing is about, and that what the Park Hotel more or less proved, that these Mickey Mouse and GMX booking things still produce kind of respect. So it was never treated in the wrong way. Or I have some cards if someone wants to. So I've done some things in the same. I'll show you this light gate I built, like a tool against seasonal depression, more or less. I care a lot about seasonal depressions, but at the same time, I care a lot about like you put something out in a certain kind of designy way into a public area, and you just actually kick it out in the real life. And even that thing like remained for like 3 months completely untouched. Anyone could go there and just lighten it up, or whatever. Or take even the bulbs out. The bulbs were like that high. For the ones that I don't know about, I have like picture postcards. Anyone is welcome to pick one up. So I think we should way more focus a bit back on this, what's legal between commercial things and event things. Like, it should be legal to have a certain kind of rest, even if it's a shower or a bath or it's a sleeping room. So things like this on a mid-organized level.
Perfect.
I can't explain it better, sorry.
That's fine. Thank you, Andreas. I think one of the biggest learnings to take away from this is actually that experimentation in design can lead you to great possibilities and opportunities. So, Andreas, thank you very much. This kind of brings the first session to an end.